how are you today?
Oh, good, darling. Carly, thank you.
Treatment. Yes, lucky chair number 3, just there, Lenore.
Lenore Bryan knows the name of almost every nurse at her local hospital.
She keeps an eye on me and I don't misbehave.
Since last year, the 84-year-old has been receiving cancer treatment for melanoma.
I'm all tagged now. I can't escape. Oh, darling, I would love to get back to my energy levels that I had. And Ellie, for many, many years, I've been a fitness fanatic.
Have you had any new issues at all since last time?
No real changes.
What's different about the treatment Lenore is receiving is that she's also part of a clinical trial at the Mildura-based public hospital.
With Lenore, it is an interventional study, but it's standard of care, so she's not necessarily getting a new drug.
The 2-year clinical trial is a form of surveillance of her melanoma treatment. She's interviewed regularly by Suzette Treen, the hospital's clinical trials nurse.
Doing well, busy. There's 2 arms to it. There's one where you just continue for 2 years on your immunotherapy, and that's standard care. The other arm is once you get a complete response from the treatment, we actually pause it. We keep an eye on them still. They keep having scans every month, but we actually pause it. So that's what they're looking at. It hasn't really been examined.
It's the first time Mildura-based public hospital has been able to analyse cancer patient care. The goal is to use the data to inform future treatment of patients. What have you had to do?
Very little. It's like an in-depth questionnaire of how things are going. To me, that is like to sit down and fill this survey in, their surveys. It took me probably 15, 20 minutes.
The hospital has 6 ongoing clinical trials, including ones testing new cutting-edge drugs for cancer.
Maintaining a trial unit within Mildura provides more options for patients. It provides more options for clinicians to access treatment that wouldn't be otherwise available for them.
It's much more convenient to come to your local hospital and to be able to be involved in a clinical trial here for sure. Less travelling, less stress, you know your team here, so yeah, it's a huge advantage.
These clinical trials are possible because of a program started 5 years ago called Trial Hub, headed by Professor Stephen Jane from Melbourne's Alfred Hospital and Monash University.
So Trial Hub is a hub and spoke model based at the Alfred Hospital, which is the largest clinical trial provider in Australia. And essentially it reaches out to regional rural hospitals to provide trial infrastructure and support to enable them to set up their own trial units, which eventually will become self-sufficient. So the idea is that a patient, instead of living at La Trobe Regional Hospital, in that region, having to go to the Alfred for their trial, can actually just go down the road to their local hospital and have the trial.
Mildura-based public hospital is a newcomer to the program after opening in 2023, but its future is in doubt.
At this point, we haven't got funding for a renewal. I think the concern for us is that places like La Trobe Regional has done brilliantly and they will be self-sufficient. But places like Mildura, Bass Coast and others haven't reached that level of sophistication and maturity yet. And for them to lose Trial Hub as the support will be, I think, catastrophic for their trial program.
Not having research here would be saddening because it would take that opportunity to do that ongoing further progression of medicine within the field. But mostly it's going to be sad that there'll be patients that won't have access to certain levels of care, and that's going to be disappointing.
Trial Hub was granted $17 million by the federal government, which is set to expire this September. Professor Jane wants a guarantee of future funding to keep current trials going and expand them beyond cancer.
There are no programs that look at trials in non-cancer indications. So for example, if you've got dementia and you live in the La Trobe Valley, you have to come to Melbourne. And we all know that's just not feasible for patients with early dementia to travel long distances to access trials. So diabetes, cardiovascular disease, respiratory disease, gut diseases, mental health disorders, none of these have a Trial Hub type network anywhere in Australia.
Minister Butler, Alysia from 7:30, just with the Trial Hub program, have you considered that renewal in funding?
No, we haven't received the evaluation that was a critical part of that project. It was affixed term project. An evaluation was an important part of that. The evaluation will be delivered at some time in the future, as I understand it.
Do you value the program?
Well, let's have a look at the evaluation. Anything we can do to lift clinical trials in Australia is a good thing.
With funding in limbo, Dr Nabris Sinalebe is already considering scaling back Mildura's operation.
It'll definitely be a backward step. It's about then re-evaluating what is the scope of the unit and what can we do. With anything, once the resources are taken away, it's going to be hard to maintain the same level of activity.
If we can advance the knowledge gleaned from the trial to enhance and to improve the level of cancer treatment, if that could ever be in writing, book form, medical journals, come on people, come on in on and let's go.